Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker associate Hector Martinez of Keller Realty based out of Visalia, California. Hector was born in Mexico in 1973 and his family migrated to Visalia, California in 1977, and he has been a Visalia resident since then. In 1992, his first job was in Visalia Radisson Hotel, serving as a dishwasher as well as waiting on tables and tending the bar. He knew immediately that working with others and helping others was his passion, and after listening to a few customers converse about real estate, he was determined to acquire a license. Hector has been in real estate since 2003 and performed as a top producer with C21 Jordan Link, making six-figure income while on his second year in real estate and improving year after year. He has been coached by the Mike Ferry and Tom Ferry organizations, and he is always looking for ways to improve and grow his business. Becoming a broker in 2010 was a huge step in his career. He has learned to leverage and grow a team with Keller Williams and add a property management department to his business. Moreover, he has also teamed up with a compadre and started investing in real estate. All right, with all that said, Hector, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And Hector, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
You know, I stumbled into it. I had, while attending bar, I had met two investors, real estate investors, and since then I've it was in the back of my mind, and the doctor, I had a back injury, and doctor told me I had to change my career, and so that kind of stuck with me, and as far as the real estate part of it, and I decided to go for it, and since then it was 2003 is when I got my license.
Excellent. And can you talk a little bit about what personal attributes, traits, or qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
You know what, Keith, as far as my dad has always been a hard worker, and his whole life, you know, he dedicated his life to working 7 days a week. He's very frugal and hardworking, and so that's kind of where I saw that, and it stuck to me. I've always been a hard worker, and I like to see results. But one of the things that I really took that from him was that he didn't really like change, and he was always afraid of risk and change. So my thing is that if you don't take any risk, there is not going to, it's really hard to be successful if you don't take any risk. So two things that I took from that was that, you know, you have to work hard in life to get what you want, and you also have to take risk.
And do you think, give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Absolutely, yeah. There are many challenges in our industry. It's not just getting your license and you're going to make a ton of money. It's basically you have to come into work every day. You have to practice your skills and knowing the market, studying the market, and with that being said, you have to really show up to work on a daily basis, and you have to sacrifice some of your weekends. And when I used to see friends and families getting together on the weekends or weekdays, afternoons, and so forth, I was out working. And you have to make sacrifices in that case, and mentally, and investing in yourself and your time and so forth.
Excellent. And I think whenever somebody builds a successful career in a business, that sometimes the path to get there is filled with bumps in the road along the way. Can you talk a little bit about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
You know, that is a really good question, because there is a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, and creating daily habits for myself was one of the hardest things for me, because you really have to show up to work, as I mentioned earlier, and things aren't perfect. You know, you gain customers and you lose customers. And with that being said, it was you know, when things happen, whether you lose a client or something goes wrong, going home and shutting off is really hard because of your family. It affects your family as well. And that's the biggest thing that was really hard for me to get used to, and tune away work and go home and relax, enjoy my family, because my family is very important to me. And so, you know, creating those habits, those daily habits, into my business and implement that into my business and practice my skills. That I would say that was the biggest challenge for me.
And Hector, what kept you going despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up? What was your driving force?
The biggest driving force was the fact that, seeing the families, their faces when they get their keys, when being able to help them, and knowing that, they appreciate you, and seeing the kids, they're choosing their rooms, and they're moving in, they're calling you, thanking you, sending you referrals, and that is amazingly, that's the biggest thing for me, is that when I get a referral and from a past client, handing the keys to them as well, and just seeing their faces and their excitement to be moving into a home, something that they never thought was possible.
And Hector, looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
My vision obviously is to continue to grow my team here at Keller Williams in Visalia and expand. And not just that, is getting involved with our community and nonprofits, because we can contribute now. And the more success that I bring into my life, and I want to pass that on to the community as well. And at the same time, I want to make sure that we can continue to prosper and invest in more properties and continue to so that I can help our families and our communities out more, because I know if I'm successful, I can pass that on to our community and families.
And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so you can have continual growth? Great
question. I love that question, because customer service is the biggest. That's the most important thing when I bring somebody on board, when I'm looking for talent to hire as a buyer's agent or to bring into our team, I want to make sure they understand that customer service comes first. And the reason I say that is because 70% of my business is by referral. And I know that if we maintain that relationship with our current clients and our new clients, we will be in the business for a very long time.
And Hector, I think sometimes when the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value that they provide from both a buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
Well, first of all, I know that people always wonder, well, they make too much money or they charge too much to sell our home, so we're going to try selling it ourselves. And you're right, they don't see the value in it, and they don't see the scene behind doors. And so that's one of the biggest things, the biggest objections that we get from our sellers is, you guys charge too much. And not until we sit down and show them how it works, the mechanics behind doors, and how it works on what we do to get their homes sold quicker and for more money, is when they realize that, that what we do is really, brings a lot of value to them, having us represent them and the liability that we handle for them and so forth.
Excellent. And obviously based out of Visalia, California, and if somebody's looking for real estate services or an agent in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
Okay, sure. My name is obviously Hector Martinez. They can either call 559-280-2024. They can visit us on Facebook. They can look up Hector Martinez. We encourage you guys to come on out and or log on to Facebook and click like on our page, Hector Martinez Keller Williams, or they can visit us online at VisaliaHomes.com.
Excellent. Well, Hector, obviously want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and want to learn more about Hector, you can go to his site, like he said. Also below this interview, we'll have a link to his site and any other contact information we have so you can see how he can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.